Hi everybody, this is Random Records Shelf. Encore. Yeah, I've had so many requests to do this. I thought, well, I'll just do one more as an encore. So many people said, yeah, one more, do another one. So I've had a shelf of records here, and hopefully this camera isn't going to keep going dark and light. Let's just pull some off and we'll see how we go. I'm not going to do the entire shelf. Just be here too long otherwise. There's always a couple at the end. I'll just leave that. Pebbles Volume 3. This is the Acid Gallery. This is the really far out nutty stuff, This is perhaps one of my favourites, Volume 2. Most of them I have on CD. I've got the box set as well, which has different tracks in it. But for me, Bad Girl, Zachary Facts, Lost Innocence for Buddhas. Can't beat those. Randy Alvey's Green Fuzz for Dovers. Top quality. Oops. Man, 2 ounces of plastic with a hole in the middle. That is a great record. Strange opener. It's like a storm. It's this weird going on and on. Talking of storms, Quadrophonic Stormbringer for all you people who love seeing Deep Purple on my shelf. Not easy to get now. And it's good because you get the different guitar mixes and different solos. It's just totally unexpected. Johnny Burnett's Trio, of course. Classic comp. Do you really need more than those tracks? Tear It Up, Midnight Train, Train Kept A-Rolling, Honey Hush, Lonesome Train. That's the top quality ones, isn't it? You're Undecided. Classic. Fontana Mersey Beats. This is the original. It was released shortly after on Wing or something like that. This is on Fontana. Lovely cover, but yeah. Patchy. Grow Zone. Grey Zone. Absolutely fantastic record, this one. Shown a lot of these before. But it's a fantastic experimental. Mighty album. Those first few tracks. You just need to go and listen to that. That is absolutely brilliant. Synthesist. Harold Groskopf on Sky. Another one of those that, if you're into electronic music, has to be in your collection. Maybe the last track is a little bit melodic for me, but top quality. An original Clash. I've said it before, I think. I'm not really a fan of this record. I don't really like, maybe it's something about production and his voice. I don't know, I like a lot of punk stuff, but the Clash it's just something that grates on me. I can listen to it in small doses, it's weird. It's just, I don't know what it is. Arclight Loop 12-inch, of course. I remember first hearing that in 1989, 1990. So I remember, you have memories attached to all this stuff. Brilliant. Arclight Radar and Arclight Sonar. Oh, that is just fantastically heavy, repetitive, blow your head off music. The Dusseldorf Viva. Another classic, of course. Humble Pie's Rock On. This is first, it's not really my original one, I got two of them. I remember first hearing this in 1989 and just loving that sound on Sour Grain and Shine On, and then Rolling Stone at the end. Really good heavy stuff. Stone Cold Fever. They always have patchy records, The other half, original actor, not in the best shape, it's a little bit crackly here and there, but to find one cheap over here is very unusual. This again, it's a patchy record, but I mean, flipping it, when they hit it, they really hit it. And the guitar on this, you know, as we all know, is Randy Holden, genius. Saying that and doubting myself for a second. Clear Light. It's actually a mono sleeve, but a stereo record is one of those, you know. Classic LA sound, saying LA. You know, it does sound a little bit like Love, and those sorts of bands had similar sound at that time in that place. Oh, and one of my all-time favourites, of course. Yes, it's shown once or twice in my first video. One of my rarest records, Mark Bart Priley's Welcome to the Citadel. Also one of my favourite records. Absolute top quality. Showing a boring CBS, but top quality folk, sort of acid folk. A little bit of you know, classic 60s London vibe and a couple of tracks. Oh, I'm telling you now, if you have not heard these songs, just go and listen to some of them. The answer is Vagabond of Sleep. The string arrangements are brilliant on this. It's just got a really lovely feel in that cover. Isn't that amazing? Penge and Derek's favourite, Wasteland and Other Poems. This is Cadman. Let's take a few more out here. Yeah, there's bits and bobs I'm leaving behind there, you know. Joy Division. A fantastic 12-inch. This one, electronic music of the highest quality with the original Flexi. Brilliant stuff. Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Now these two records are a sublime country folk. And don't be put off when I say country's not twangy country music. You know, it's alright if you want it, if you listen to it. These are beautifully produced, and they're Glyn Johns productions, which, if you listen to Glyn Johns records, you know the guy is a master. And these songs are just so what's the word? Mine is tired today. They're just so off the country, you know, off the countryside. And they've got a really lovely laid back feel, a loose quality to them. I mean, seriously, tracks like Spaceship Orion, Standing on the Rock, Beauty in the River, they are gorgeous, gorgeous songs. They really are. And the production, wonderful. These get overlooked. The only thing that's wrong about, I say wrong, bad about this, was got the single Jackie Blue, which is very famous. Doesn't sound like anything else on the record. The production sounds like it's mixed for radio, you know. It just slightly doesn't really sit well. But oh, beautiful records. Terry Reid, this is the American version, Move Over for Terry Reid. I mean, again, those tracks, Super Lungs, My Supergirl and Silver White Light, what a great opening salvo that is. Marking Time is on here as well. Heavy stuff. Mayfly is a great track. I mean, come on, people. It's the UK original. Not easy to come by the original. You see the Music for Pleasure one, I've got that. Not here, it's upstairs on the shelf upstairs. A bit tatty on the back. Sid Barrett's Madcap Laughs. You can see where most of my collecting started and went for a long time. It's in sort of this sort of era, this kind of ilk. But again, an absolutely classic. This is, I'm going to say the original. I think, no, it's not. It's really, oops, it's boxed, so it's not the very first press, the second press. Sort that out later. The original Barrett. This is the first press, unboxed. I prefer the other album as an album because this is a bit held down by the band. They're really pedestrian, aren't they? Humble Pie's drummer Jerry Shirley was drumming on this. It was very straight, whereas Robert Wyatt was on the other. And these are very held down. But the tracks, Waving My Arms in the Air, I Never Lied to You, Wined and Dined, absolute top draw for me. I love that kind of emotional, beautiful, sublime stuff. And then we go to this, Blizzard of Oz, with Crazy Train, Suicide Solution. You know, some nice tracks on there. I'd like to get a follow-up, actually. I don't think I've ever owned it, but I'm not that fussed, you know. With OMD, I've never listened to this record. Now this is a fantastic 80s album. Believe some people, I mean, absolutely top drawer. If you're in the mood for 80s, the arrangements, the production, everything just screams 80s, but in a really good way. You know, the 80s did turn out some great music, and this is a good example. I mean, it is pop, but it's mature, you know, it's clever. Brilliant stuff. A bit more OMD, with electricity and messages on these. A third ear band, Alchemy. Great record, of course. Family Entertainment. This one has a bit of a skip on the track, but it has the original poster. It's huge. And of course it has, I mean, for me, Observations from a Hill is beautiful stuff. It actually has some of the best tracks for this album. Perhaps the most consistent album after that first. Popol Vuh. I would say Aguirre, I don't know how you really pronounce it, from the film, of course. Herzog's amazing. I'm going to say masterpiece. So, oh dear, that film. And the way they use that theme through the opening of the film is absolutely incredible. Sam the Sham and the Pharaoh's Woolly Bully. Again, this is just brilliant. You've got the fantastic Woolly Bully, but you've got Memphis Beat, Go Go Girls, Haunted House, Every Woman I Know, Gangster of Love. Great. Flip past Led Zeppelin. Kinks, Muswell Hillbillies. A strange green rubbing effect on this one. Another great record, of course. Animalism's not, I mean, the record's alright, but the cover's a bit naked. Grim. People have written all over it, you know. Bent Fabrics, Operation Lovebirds. This is a French sort of lounge, jazz, easy listening. Wonderful record. Absolutely fantastic. Greasy Truckers, Tea Party, or just Party, I always forget. There's the bands. The one band that didn't appear was Byzantium, unfortunately. There was a big power cut and a problem, and I think they weren't able to play. Yeah, it's easy top. This is Triad Spontaneous Combustion without the inserts. There should be 3 inserts in this. This is a prog album. Good album actually. But it's one of those, again, you sort of play it, I can't remember anything about it, but when I play it I really like it, and I take it off, what happened there? Sonic Youth's sister. Not really a big fan of Sonic Youth. You know, I was around at the time when they were with Goo and all of that, but they never really clicked with me. Although I liked the ideas, they didn't really have the same kind of, I never did it so much as Can and Krautrock and stuff like that did for me. Shorty Waddy's greatest hits, of course. No collection complete without it. And frankly, I'm not joking. The production on this record is astonishing. And there are some great tracks on there, covers and originals. I really like some of our originals. I just remember that one of my first ever record was the Shorty Waddy record, a single that I bought, that I was given for my 8th birthday, I believe. Boring. Can't stand that sort of stuff. CBS. Oh look, a copy of Machine Head. I should be looking to flip past these, shouldn't I? This is an interesting one. This is another band I can't stand, really. I mean, I like certain tracks, but 10 years after, I had to pick this up because someone had done this amazing cover. This is Shh, and I really think they should have continued that with a nice IT on the end, or ITE. Yeah, I like the fact that someone's put all that effort into making that cover. That was Human League and Black Sabbath, Technical Ecstasy, which people write off. I don't think they should write this record off at all. I think it's a flaming great album. Mark Kelly's Greasy Spoon. This is where Quo moved from psychedelia. There's one psychedelic track on here. Heavy track, that Daughter. If you don't not heard that, if you're into psychedelia, listen to that. And the pounding, awesome. You've got to go home on the end here. This is a heavy record. They moved from psychedelia to really heavy kind of, it's not prog at all, but kind of boogie based blues, but not cheesy blues, I'm saying. Good rock record, that. And this is the American. See the difference? And I can never understand why. It's like between the buttons when you have those covers. With people had their eyes shut and they didn't really care, you know. Like nowadays, it would never happen. Look at that. He's got his eyes shut. And again, they've changed it. The Americans lost the best track, really. Side 1 is the same. Side 2 has In My Chair, which was a single which wasn't included on the UK version. And it ends with Lazy Poker Blues, which is it's okay as an ending. It's a bit lame track, really, compared to the rest. But this finishes with a 9-minute pounding, excellent track, which the Americans just had no idea about. And also, that sounds terrible. It's so flat and poorly, pressed. I mean, they're both originals. This is way better. Way better. Canned Heat. Just because, you know, some of those tracks you got On the Road Again, you know, Going Up the Country. What else do you need? Janis Joplin's greatest hits. Houses of the Holy. This is a long one, isn't it? Hawkwinds first. Again, side 1, Hurry on Sundown. I don't really ever listen to this record. I only ever listen to that track. This is going for 20 minutes. Some rock and roll comps. These are brilliant. These are absolutely fantastic compilations. Probably the best rock and roll comps out there, really. They split things up. Teen Boys of the 60s, the Instrumentalists, groups of the 50s, the original versions, you know. Really good, clever way of doing compilations. And another one in the series, volume 3. This one's loose. rock and rollers, groups of the 60s again, novelty records, original versions. Really well done. Bang Bang, your Terry Reid. Another really excellent record. I mean, all these records are good, but they're all so different from each other, you know. This is completely different Mickey Most production again. But completely different sounding, hugely long record. Too long, right? I mean, you've got 27 minutes on side 2. So it never, you know, the sound is never going to be quite as good. But some of the tracks are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is like pure kind of soul-driven. I mean, you know, see what they were trying to do with him, push him in that direction. And he could really hold his own in that field. Brilliant. Deviants. This is a reissue. Not really a big fan of the Deviants. Pink Fairies. Still don't have what's it called? Never Neverland. That's the one I want, really. What a bunch of sweeties. Yeah, Pink Floyd. Just showing this because what a great cover that is. And it's also their heaviest album by a long, long way. Back What Would Just Take Me. I mean, I love the last track, Slow Train. Brilliant stuff. And, you know, they never, initially, they didn't shirk on things in those days. These inserts. Just quality record, that. Kind of blue, yada yada. Hot Rat. Tim Buckley. Yeah. That's a later reissue. I'm not really a big fan of it. Another Space Ritual. This one's a bit tatty. Nearly done. I wasn't going to do them all because it's going on for I don't know. Gong. Flying Teapot. That's an original white label. Not promo, I mean. Nectar, Tab in the Ocean. Again, Nectar's not one of those bands I particularly care about or think, oh, I must get that stuff. I play it occasionally, you know. A repress of Banana Moon, which popped up on the original in the other video. Best of the Trogs. Great record, that one. I mean, look at those guys. Just a great record. You. A couple of these. One original one, is it? This is a bit different, isn't it? This is The Phone, Songs for the Nuclear Age. And this is, when was this released? A few years ago now, but it's all done in the 80s style with 80s instruments, 80s sounding minimal synth songs. And it's absolutely brilliant record. You like 80s minimal synth? This would be right up your street. A fantastic album, The Phone, Songs for the Nuclear Age. This nuclear age. Great album. Copy of Book of Talisman. For Shield and Anthem. Those two songs. I mean, the rest of it can just suck, you know, who cares? But those two songs, Shield, I mean, they're fantastic. Yeah, the rest of it, who cares, man? And finally, Thick as a Brick, a record I've never listened to, and I doubt I ever will. Because who cares, man? Anyway, look at that. 25 minutes of me today. Boom. You know you love it. And I'll see you all soon. If you got to this point, you know, hats off. See you later.